Hello, I'm Dan McNulty. This is another segment of Schaumburg Heartbeat. Today we're at the Schaumburg Township, and we're going to be talking about the Senior Citizens and Disabilities Program. And with me is the lady who's in charge of that, Megan Conway, Director of Senior Services and also Disability. And I know you got a lot on your plate, Megan. Let's start off with Medicare counseling, because seniors always need to deal with that. Okay.
Well, Medicare is one of the largest programs available to older adults. It is a health insurance program, and our staff are all trained by the State of Illinois Department on Aging with the Senior Health Insurance Program. The nice thing about the SHIP program is that it gives beneficiaries to Medicare and their caregivers free, unbiased counseling on their Medicare options and benefits. It saves taxpayers a lot of money by making sure that they are in the best option for them and that what they have is meeting their needs.
Okay, what about the support program? Do you have support programs for different people, different groups?
So we are very proud to host several different support groups at the township. We have a nurse through a contracted arrangement with Northwest Community Hospital. She hosts a diabetes support group twice a month. We also have a very interesting support group model, which is peer-led for a fibromyalgia support group, meaning that the facilitator of that group also has fibromyalgia, and then it provides a better experience for support for those folks. But most excitingly is that in the next couple of weeks, we are launching 2 different support group options. One is for caregivers, so that would be a caregiver support group meeting monthly, facilitated by yours truly, intended to give caregivers in any capacity support, resources, and an opportunity to engage with others. Research has shown that when caregivers engage in support, that they have better coping skills, that they keep their loved ones at home longer, and they're better equipped to handle stress. And there's one more that we're launching called Bridges to Memory. Bridges to Memory is intended for people with memory loss, either Alzheimer's disease, dementia, mild cognitive impairment, anything like that, and their caregiver to come together. And on a monthly basis, we would have structured activities, conversation, reminiscence, exercise, arts and crafts projects, really a fun outing for the person with dementia and their loved one to come together. And all are available at no cost.
Right. And what about recreational programs here?
Sure, we offer a wide array of recreational programming. We have a full-time program coordinator who is responsible with scheduling a variety of activities and options for folks. And then we have other staff that help support those things. She coordinates on a monthly basis day trips, fun outings like to Milwaukee. They went to Milwaukee for the day. They just came back from Geneva from the day. They will go to museums, and we've got some upcoming theater trips that include lunch. We also have special events here at the township. Some very popular ones include our Mother's Day annual tea party. We have an Oktoberfest that happens every September, and a variety of things like that. She also schedules exercise classes here at the township and other special events and lectures, like for health education, assistance on a variety of topics available to people.
Right. We, this being Thursday, we couldn't exclude the bingo. When I talk about the bingo, it's one of the most popular programs you have here.
Yes, our weekly bingo and lunch is extremely popular every Thursday for years. I've only been with the township about a year, but my understanding is it's been going on for a very long time. Every Thursday, folks come in. There is a homemade lunch by our volunteers. We have a great group of volunteers that prepare and serve that lunch to folks at no cost. And then folks stick around and play bingo for a couple hours. It's a great opportunity for socialization, a nice lunch opportunity, and we get about 100 to 120 people every week in the door for that program.
And what about transportation services?
Yeah, we are very fortunate to offer transportation services to our residents. If you reside in the township and you're 60 years of age or older, or you have a permanent mobility disability that would benefit from transportation, folks can take advantage of our buses that run around the township. If you live in the township, it will take you anywhere within township borders for social, personal, medical, grocery purposes. But they will also take people outside the township up to 7 miles for medical purposes. They do a lot of dialysis transportation, a lot of medical appointments, and folks are encouraged, well, they have to register in advance, but they're encouraged to call as early as possible to make their reservation.
What about veteran services?
So the township works very closely with the VA to have a veteran service officer employed by the VA to have office hours here at the township. She is here on Mondays and Thursdays from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and can help folks obtain their DD-214s, get any medals that they were entitled to but never received, help them with VA paperwork, connect them with the health clinics in the area, and make sure that our veterans are served properly. In addition to that, through our clerk's office, we maintain a veteran honor roll, which is a very special designation for veterans living in our township who served during a period of conflict. They can submit an application with information, and then they're specially recognized at one of our board meetings, and then we have special dinners and outings throughout the year for those folks on our veteran honor roll.
Right. What about home visits?
So the township in general, we try to provide services as best we possibly can for our residents. We really want folks to have an outstanding experience when they come to the building, but sometimes that's not always possible, especially for older adults who have mobility issues, or maybe they have a health condition or a mental health problem that they just can't get out the door. Our staff want to respond and see them as appropriately as possible. So we will do a home visit if somebody needs assistance and requests it in their home. We have laptops we can take out and do counseling sessions for Medicare. There are certain programs that we can help with the applications in a person's home, and then we can try and provide specialized referrals and resources based on the person's needs.
What about services for people looking for jobs, seniors?
So employment services, in our area we have a lot of big businesses, and developing those relationships is really important. We work with a contracted service to provide employment services here at the township every Tuesday and Wednesday in the same office our veteran person is in on Mondays and Thursdays. Folks can come in and meet with an employment services counselor and receive assistance with resume building, job coaching, interview skills, networking, which we all know how important networking is, and get feedback on a whole bunch of issues related to employment services.
For tax time.
Yes, as we know, income tax time, nobody wants to address that problem. No one wants to think about what they owe the government or what they might get back, but filing income taxes is a really important and valued service that we provide. We work with AARP Tax Aid to provide tax preparation at no charge to residents. There's no age or residency restriction for that service, and folks can call in January for an appointment. The volunteers serve people from February through the middle of April. This past year, we did over 1,150 returns at this building. It's a very popular program. And our site is the second largest in our regional vicinity, so we see a high volume of people. The program would not run without the amazing volunteers from AARP. So if anyone's interested in volunteering in that capacity, we would certainly love to talk to you.
Okay, now what about people with disability? What kind of program do you have for them?
Yeah, I think that, like I said, we want to serve as many residents as possible in the best way possible. So our senior services department is for folks who are 55 and older, our recreation offerings, the different out trips. We also are very fortunate to have disability services. So if an individual has a disability and needs assistance, they can definitely come and work with our staff. The staff are trained to screen people for available public benefits, help them file those applications, troubleshoot and advocate if they run into trouble with them, and make very person-centered referrals and information that they might need. We also offer disability parking placards, so if a person temporarily has a need for a parking placard, they can come to our office and receive that. We also have an amazing deaf services program here. We employ a full-time deaf services coordinator who is fluent in ASL and works with the deaf community for independent living skills, issues on accessibility, making sure folks are served, and then provide some social opportunities for them. Along with that, our disability services team runs a program called ITAC. It stands for Illinois Telecommunications Access Corporation. And ITAC provides free amplified phone equipment for people with certified hearing loss. It is no charge to individuals who qualify in the state of Illinois.
Well, I'm certain that you and your staff are very, very busy here with all the programs. Do you have any new programs that you're looking forward to?
I think the one I mentioned earlier is called Bridges to Memory. So Bridges to Memory is intended for a person with dementia to come with their caregiver. More and more research is showing how important it is to cultivate that relationship and get people in the community and engaging each other. Having that support is so important. So we are very excited to launch that. It'll be on the fourth Wednesday of each month at 2 p.m. We also, our programming staff are developing a lot of things in senior services, and we will be heading for some theater productions in the fall for the first time, which will include lunch, theater, and transportation to try and provide more recreation opportunities for our residents. Otherwise, we always welcome feedback and would like to respond to what our residents need. So if there's something we're not doing that we can, we definitely would like to hear from people.
And the question of getting more information, we'll put up on the screen. What's your
the website?
Website, yes.
So it is www.schaumburgtownship.org, all spelled out. Do I need to spell it?
No, that's right. Anyway, thanks a lot, Megan, and you guys have a tough job here, but we appreciate everything that you're doing. And if you want to get more information, you can come over here to the location at 1 Illinois Boulevard, or contact them on the website. Megan, tell us about the assessments that you have here.
Absolutely. So one of the functions of townships is to provide property tax assessment. We do have a tax assessor's office in the building, and this year will be the triennial reassessment for property. So if anyone has questions or needs assistance with figuring out what they need to do with property tax bills or reassessments, they can definitely come to our office or give us a call.
Okay, Megan, and what about people who want to get involved with the township here?
Yes, we love volunteers. Volunteers are the lifeblood of any organization that is providing services in a human service capacity. It allows us to maximize what we're doing for the public. We utilize volunteers with our AARP tax program, with our Thursday lunch program, also clerical support. But also we are open to any volunteer who maybe has a special skill or talent and would like to share that with our community. So anyone who's interested in volunteering, we also have a food pantry in our lower level here that utilizes volunteers. We would love to talk to you about volunteer opportunities. We also have a bi-monthly senior newsletter that is published. So if anyone would like more information or more details, please reach out and we'll add you to our mailing list.
Well, I hope people who are watching it will do that. Next to another segment of Schaumburg Heartbeat. I'm here with McNulty. Thanks for watching.
There's nothing like heading to the golf course after a long, hard winter, and opening day is finally here. Tee it up at the Schaumburg Park District golf courses, Walnut Greens, and the Schaumburg Golf Club. After you've enjoyed a day in the sun, stop by the newly renovated Chandler's Chop House for a delicious meal. Chandler's Chop House is located at the Schaumburg Golf Club. You can't beat a day of golf and good food. Learn more at parkfun.com.
I'm Don Clancy, and this is Heartbeat. You know, we don't laugh enough. We need more humor in our life. And today we're going to do something about that because we're talking with Marc Jolley. He is the director of the Time Travelers and also the instructor. Time Travelers is a group that performs both scripted comedy and improv work, which is quite interesting to me. Marc, thanks for having us over. We appreciate it, visiting with you.
Well, thanks, Don.
I wonder if you could tell us a little bit about yourself and the Time Travelers.
I've been performing improv since 1998, when I first started learning it and studying it. And I've been with the Time Travelers group here at the Park District, pretty much in this room. We're in the Heritage room over at the Schaumburg CRC. I've been part of the group since 2002 when I first auditioned as a cast member. I ended up sort of taking over around 2007 or so, and we have a monthly improv performance that we do at the Schaumburg Tennis Plus in the bar area.
Oh, you do that monthly?
Once a month, yes, and it's always on a Friday. It's not a regular Friday, really, but it's once a month. And
That's Friday evening, I would assume, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually around 8 to 10 p.m. And then we, the group, the cast members come here to the Schaumburg CRC every Thursday night at 7 until about 9 o'clock. And we do our improv practices and things like that, and plan our performances and practice our skills. And that's how it works.
As an instructor, what do you see as the motivation of most of your students that are coming in to learn?
Well, I believe just from doing this for so long, most people, they want to either make friends, have a fun activity to do as a hobby. And so it's kind of a club atmosphere here in the Time Travelers.
Yeah.
And pretty much they come and they learn how to step out of themselves a little bit. They open up. They become, once you learn improv and you do it for a period of time, you are changed forever.
It would seem to me that they develop a lot of life skills, like they have to listen to each other real well, communicate with them, and build relationships with people, right?
Well, you've been researching your improv
Yes.
skills there, Don. Yes. I would say, there's certain aspects of listening. It'll make you a better teacher, a better bartender, a better anything that you do. Improv skills can enhance how you deal with other people. It's good with the soft skills.
How it's like magic, but how do they? It's on the fly. It's impromptu. It's not rehearsed, I guess. How do they develop the storyline and then the characters? I mean, where does it come from?
Well, they practice coming up with characters through little bits of inspiration that you may not notice, but they, the cast members, many of them who do that well, it could come from the way another castmate said something to them. It might inspire how they're going to respond. Pretty much, it's all about if you've ever played along with somebody.
Yeah.
That's all we're doing. It's complete agreement.
Yes.
So if somebody says, this is a ball, they're going to hand it to you, then you just grab it and
I got a ball.
you got a ball. So it's just, whatever somebody offers, you accept it, believe it, and agree with it, and then you add on to that. They call that, that's one of the first big rules of improvisation.
It's one of the principles.
Yeah, one of the big principles is yes and.
Yes,
So
yes
it's
and,
two
okay.
parts. Yes is agreeing with what they've now offered you or established, but the and is important too, because that is when you then
Add to it.
on to it.
I see.
And
I
that's
see.
what propels whatever you're doing.
The story forward, I see.
Exactly.
Okay.
And you just keep doing it, and it takes turns. And if you listen and you find, we're listening, and it's pretty much the cast members are like writers and actors at the same time.
Yes. It's
So
really coming out of the
They're doing that.
smoke.
Right, so they have to, they come in blank, and everything's right there on the stage together. They collaborate, and they build what is done. And what we do in our group is we do what's called short-form improvisation, somewhat like you would see on Whose Line Is It Anyways,
Okay.
that television series. And so we play games. So these theater games
That's
have,
part of the training then?
correct.
Okay.
So we'll practice games on Thursday nights here, and then we'll do them in the show. We'll string a bunch of them together. There's some that we do every month, and then we interchange like about half the show, I would say, third, with games that we practice for that month only.
Are there, besides, what'd you call it, what did you refer to?
The yes and?
Yes, and. So you're
Yes.
agreeing and then you're adding to it.
Yeah.
Are there any other techniques that you teach in the class that are like that?
Well, there's different levels of things, but that would be one of the basic ones you learn in the beginning. But there's ways, you know, we teach people how, or we help them practice how to develop characters pretty quickly, and it could be a voice or a quirk or a tick or an accent. It could be anything, and then you add different ways, you know, nonverbal things to that as well. That's one thing. Then there's other things of scene development, like how to establish a scene. If we're not within a game that's structured
Yes.
to help kickstart the scene, we need to make sure, as cast members, that in the first 4 lines exchanged, first 4 or 5 lines exchanged, we want to establish who you both are, where you are,
Okay.
and pretty much why are we watching this? Why is today so important?
Mm-hmm.
So every day's the same except today. So that's why we're having a scene about it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to just have somebody come in and go, "Hi, I love you too," and then that's going to be the most boring thing to watch. You want to see some kind of conflict,
Yeah.
some kind of resolution, raising the stakes, all kinds of things that people have to work into a scene to
Now,
make it worthwhile to watch.
Do you, I've seen in some improv where they take suggestions from the audience. Do you do that kind of thing?
Everything on suggestions in our shows.
Oh, so,
As much as we can, and we have games.
yeah.
And then we'll take everything. It's always going to be different last month, but it's going to be different because we take a different suggestion to kick us off.
Like place or
Correct.
characters or something
Yeah,
like
or
that?
even just a random word.
Or just a random word? Okay.
Somebody will say asparagus, and then you got to figure out what you're going to do with that.
This is a $64,000 question that I got to know the
All
answer
right,
to.
well, I expect that check to clear.
Are you ready?
Sure.
How do they know when the scene is over?
Well,
If they're just playing off each other, how do they know
that's
that?
where the host of that game, usually me or one of the other cast members, will ding a bell or turn off the lights.
Oh,
And
okay.
they'll know, lights out.
Not very subtle.
Not real subtle, but the audience, it's a cue to them that the game ended as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we
Yeah.
have
So there's no
to
real
that.
punchline they're waiting for because that would be scripted then. It's not,
Well,
or does that sometimes
I
develop?
think, you know, we tend to not, we tend to practice it to the point to where when improv, it comes out funny, but it's not really, our intention is, I don't teach people to be jokey or punchline.
Okay. It's not stand-up comedy as such.
Correct. And
Yeah.
you know what's ironic is people, because of the evening at the improv TV
Yeah.
series and the
Yeah.
improv clubs
Yeah.
that hold stand-up comedy, it's always confused even my distant relatives. They all think I'm a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
But really,
But that's really scripted, isn't it?
correct. The stand-up comic is going to stand up there. He's practiced and rehearsed. He or she has practiced and rehearsed
Yeah.
this to make it look like they're coming up with it off the top of their head.
Yeah.
Whereas improvisation is people performing off the top of their head, but they're trying to make it look like it was scripted and rehearsed. So
Ah.
it's completely the opposite, even though they share that word improv.
It sounds like that might even be more challenging than scripted approach.
It can be. It's
Yeah.
exhilarating and exciting, and I think the audience reads that, and they enjoy it, and they laugh more. But back to the thing about punchlines. Yeah, we try to. We're not totally serious, but you know, so one of the things I teach our cast is the students here. They learn that in theater, when an audience is watching something, our job is to build tension. So as we build tension, it can break one way or the other. So if you build tension, everyone in the audience is feeling it, then at some point we're gonna do something to break that tension. Now, in drama, it might result in somebody crying at watching that tension break.
Mhm.
In comedy, and that expectation is it's an improv show, it's gonna break the other way and they're gonna laugh. So there's something that's when the tension's broken, that comes out of you. Laughter or tears.
Yes, that's
so that's those masks. You know, you always see the comedy and drama masks together. That's kind of where that
So,
works.
so when they're working together, it's responsibility of the both, let's say, two actors, to keep the thing rolling, to keep the storyline moving forward.
Yes.
Is there anything that they shouldn't do that might break that?
Well, in my training that I've gone through at Second City and other places, Improv Olympic, which is called IO now, and the Annoyance Theater, they teach you the rules.
Oh.
Okay? And the rules are pretty much what you shouldn't do, like you shouldn't deny people, which is the opposite of yes-anding.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So if you go, this is a ball, if I go, this is a ball, and
That's
you go,
no, that's not a
that's
ball.
a tablet. Yeah, that's, you know, that's a, whatever. Then the scene, it's all about choices. So when they learn these rules, they realize that the rules can be broken. There's no hard, fast rules. We call them the rules at some point in their training, but you can break all of the rules and it won't harm anything. But what it does do is it makes it very interesting to get out of these choices you made in the
Okay.
scene. It makes it a little harder. So the scene can't move forward. We got to stop now and justify why this thing is
Because it's taking a completely different turn.
correct. So
Okay.
if I call somebody Billy and somebody else calls somebody Jim because they didn't hear it or whatever,
Uh-huh.
well, now we have to stop for a second and
Fix
justify
that.
it's Billy Jim or something like that is the character's name. So we fix it that way, and but like I said, then the scene doesn't really move forward. The other thing is like don't ask questions. Well, you can ask questions in a scene, but it kind of stops things because the person asking the question, the performer,
Mm-hmm.
is not going to get the answer they wanted.
Uh-huh.
They should just say a sentence
Okay.
to get
And that might even take it in another different direction.
correct. So there's rules, like I said, but they're not really. They're all meant to be broken.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, improvisation, doing scene work, it's an art form, and as I tell everybody here, it's like the chalk drawings on the sidewalk. Like
Mhm.
you do it, and that's it. The rain comes, it's never
gone.
going to happen again.
Mhm.
That exact way.
One time.
Right. So that's good news. Is if the scene is terrible or it's not what it's something you're proud of, it'll never be seen again.
Mhm.
But the bad news is, if it is something you're proud of, it's never going to be seen again either. So,
In your group, how long has this group been together and how many people are in it?
well, from what I understand, I don't have the exact
Yeah.
dates. The group was founded by the former cultural arts supervisor Tony Higgins Thrash, and with the instructor and director Mike Partapillo.
Mm-hmm.
And Mark Partapillo is still part of the group, and he's a wonderful guy. Tony has retired. She retired about 2007. About the time one of her last things was to hire me as the director for this group, but before she retired. But they founded this group because they realized there were theater programs in the Park District that addressed all these different age groups, but
Mhm.
not 30 and over.
Okay.
So they called this the Time Travelers, I think because of that.
Oh, so most of the people are 30 or over? They're not.
We have people in their 60s and 70s in this
Oh,
group,
gee,
yes,
yeah.
and we have people in their 30s.
Oh.
And
You mean they have people as old as I am in this group?
how old are you?
I'm 80.
80. Yeah, I think we have somebody older than you in here.
Oh, good. That's good to know.
But
Yeah.
so they started the group then. I've lowered the age to 21 for membership of this group since then, but we haven't really had many people in their 20s
Mm-hmm.
yet.
Yeah.
But we may sometime, and it's really good.
So it's an interesting mix, really.
It is a great mix, yeah, and a lot of genre mixing going on with the different age groups.
Sounds like a good group. What would you tell people who wanted to know more about improv and strip comedy?
Strip comedy?
Stripped comedy. Not strip comedy.
Strip comedy. I'm like, what? What
No, that's a
call it?
different show.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Misunderstood.
Yeah, right.
Well, if they
Scripted
want to know
comedy.
more about improv,
Yeah.
I would say go see shows. That's really the answer.
Yeah.
There are venues. You can come see our show once a month at the Bar and Tennis Club. It is PG-13, so anyone over 13 can come in there.
Okay.
They do serve alcohol, but obviously you're not going to get served if you're under 21. But you come watch the show. It goes 8 to 10 on those Fridays, like I had said earlier. But the other places you can go, there's Laugh Out Loud Theater, which is located at the streets of Woodfield. here
Sure,
in
there's a
Schaumburg.
bunch of them around.
Here at so wellness is a
Hey, we're going to take a little bit of time here and talk to a few of the students and actors in this program. And what is your name?
My name is Sandra.
And how long have you been in the program, Sandra?
I'd say about 12 years.
Now, have you had any previous acting experience?
No.
What motivated you to come into the program?
I'm still asking that question, but
And how many years have you been doing it?
12. yeah.
12? And you still haven't figured it out. Are you having fun?
Absolutely.
Well, that's all that
It's
counts, right?
fabulous.
How about you, sir? And what is your name?
My name is Ted, and I started in September of last year, so it'll be a year this September. Am I having fun? Every week. It's an oasis in the middle of the week in terms of being able to do something different. And I started because Mike here drove up to the house one day and said, "Is that your license plate?" My license plate is improv, and I said, "Yeah." I thought he was gonna, like, it was a hit.
How
at first.
appropriate, huh?
Yeah. But he said, "Yeah, there's a group in Schaumburg. Come on out." And we did. I did, and I watched the show in September. And in October I joined, and it's been fun ever since. Really.
Have you found that the skills that you're learning here, I imagine you're learning listening skills and communication skills, things like that, are you finding those useful in other parts of your life?
It helps you in personal relationships, it helps you at work, and actually I've brought some of the stuff that I've learned here to work in terms of articles and stuff. I have.
Very
It's very
good.
helpful.
Yeah, appreciate that. And let's talk to Mike. Mike, I understand that you at one time started this club. Is that
Yes,
correct?
we started this about, I would say, almost 20 years ago. The Park District was looking for a program for people of 50 and over because they felt most of the programs they had here were pertained to the young adults and teenagers.
And the population's getting older, isn't it? Yeah,
Exactly.
there's more of us.
And then there was a time period where I could no longer do this program. And then Marc Jolley, who's the director right now, who's doing a great job, has taken over. And here we are. We're still performing.
Yeah, and you're still having fun, right?
Oh, I'm having a great
Yeah.
fun.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you for taking time. We're going to take a look at the class, and we're looking forward to it. And let's go to the class.
Thank you.
Let's try astronaut. We'll just try it out and see how it goes. Okay. All right. Ready? Oh,
I am a fun astronaut, everyone knows.
I also like to have some fun.
and have it on my toes.
And when I go to the moon, everyone will know.
That I am the one who.
everyone will know.
Yeah. Wear the big bow.
And now today is the day.
Where I will fly away.
And we will go up in the sky.
And see what else we see.
Oh, it's got to rhyme with away.
Oh, okay. And then we'll fly away.
Okay, so you're going to be the voice of something she's using, whether it's the bread or the knife or the toaster or the plate or whatever you choose. You have to choose something as she's doing the activity.
Oh, am I smelling good? Am I smelling good or not?
there.
Well, listen, I wanted to thank you
Sure.
for
Thanks.
taking the time to talk to us. I really appreciate it. Sounds like a lot of fun. And don't forget, this is Heartbeat. Go out and have some fun.